nowhere else, but this is where we found ourselves. Welcome to the local show. People you work with, people you know.
Welcome to another edition of the Local Show here on GrassRoots Community Network. Welcome also to our Facebook Live and YouTube audience. Thanks so much for joining us each week here in Aspen, where we feature inspirational locals. Now 16 years The Local Show. And again, I'm Erik Skarvan, your host. So excited to bring a longtime friend, and he's actually been on the show before, but now his first appearance as the new Aspen Mayor, Mayor Torre. Welcome to the show, buddy.
It's the Local Show.
It's the Local Show. People you work with, people you know.
I love watching your show.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, it is a slice of local information and entertainment. It's awesome.
Well, thanks, buddy.
My
Thanks.
pleasure to be here.
Well, and it's guests like you that have really driven it. In all seriousness, like it's people pursuing their dreams, having success, and sharing some of their secrets, secrets to success, but really to inspire fellow locals, and now a growing viewership, frankly, around the world with the online exposure with Facebook and YouTube, and it's been incredible.
It's exciting. It's where you should be.
Well, and GrassRoots is amazing, too, in terms of its history, going back to 1972 as America's original public access TV station. So it's neat to share with people from around the world.
First and free.
First and free. There you go.
Yep.
Free ranging. So how's your summer been? What an amazing summer it's been, especially compared to like last summer.
Yeah, well, yeah. Last summer had its trials and tribulations. This summer has been amazing. I mean, a lot's happened both for me, but also just town has been amazing this year.
Yes.
The weather's been gorgeous. Temperatures have been wonderful. The people have been fantastic. I really felt like the vibe this year in town was really positive and upbeat.
Yes.
And guess what? We're not done.
It ain't over.
It is not over.
I like to say till the skinny Nord sings. I don't know any skinny Nords, but you know.
Not one.
Sounds more appropriate than the fat lady in Aspen.
That's awesome. Yeah,
So
we've got a lot of summer left, and but it's been great. How's yours been?
It's been incredible. Thanks for asking. I call it pedaling, paddling, and petting. Petting being hiking. Did the first hike ever to the top of Highland Bowl.
Summertime
outside
hike?
of winter.
Yeah,
without my
hike.
skis. And that's a long one, man.
Yeah.
That was, you know what was really hurtful? It was the descent.
Yeah,
because I'm used to hiking up Aspen Mountain and taking the
course.
gondola down.
Yeah.
But all that walking down probably 4 or 5 miles, my little cyclist softy quads are feeling it still.
Now, did you run into anybody else up there? Were
No
other
one.
people summer
No
hiking
one.
up there?
So not like 3 or 4 trains going up Aspen Mountain.
Right.
Especially for Bluegrass Sunday, which is when we usually go. So Sunday up at the Highlands was church-like and,
That's awesome.
and magical and peaceful, and
That's awesome.
just absolutely loving summer. Summertime for picnics, and we recently had a community picnic.
Oh, yeah?
And I heard you were there serving up. Were you serving up some goodies?
Of course. This year we had greater attendance. The year after year it keeps growing. It was actually just right out here on the red brick lawn. There were a lot of activities and games and fun things for kids to do. Live music from some music school students. And, of course, burgers and veggie burgers and hot dogs and all the fixins for everybody that showed up. So about 800 people came through.
Wow.
That's right.
Super cool.
Yeah, it was wonderful. It was a great time.
Well, whenever we say free food in Aspen, you know you're going to get a big turnout.
It's true. It does that.
But just the community spirit.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad you brought it up because that's something that I and this council are really focused on is really trying to bring our community back together a little bit.
Yeah.
The community picnic is just one avenue that we're doing that, but we're going to look for more opportunities throughout the summer included.
Here's my idea. You know how we have food and wine? We're going to have the locals edition called Booze and Swine. This is an old-fashioned pig roast like we grew up with in Wisconsin, and we just got barrels. We called them barrels. We didn't have kegs. Just barrels of beer and big pigs on the spit roasting all day, and booze and swine.
Booze and swine.
We got to do it. Wouldn't that be fun?
For years, a couple of friends had the bad wine and good food festival.
Okay.
So everybody, every bottle had to be under $10, that kind of thing. But I like what you're saying. We need more just community get-togethers, and that's a good one.
Right. Well, we're going to get together with my underwriters right now. Did you like that segue?
I do.
Yeah, and we're going to thank them for making these shows happen this summer. I'm so appreciative of Aspen Square, been with us since day one, Klug Properties, Independence Pass Foundation, Picken County Landfill, and near and dear to my heart, Sundog Athletics. We'll go to our only break of the show, guys. We'll be back in 2 minutes. If you see these guys around town, please thank them for supporting the local show and public access TV. We'll be right back with Mayor Torre. We got so much to get to, you guys, so don't go away.
I'm so passionate about this community. I absolutely love living here and raising my family here. It gives me a lot of pride to share this with my friends and my clients and help them achieve their dreams of owning an Aspen snowmass and enjoying this incredible lifestyle.
Celebrating another great summer season, Aspen Square Hotel is the hospitality place, featuring fireplace studio suites and larger condominiums with full hotel-style services in the center of downtown Aspen. Aspen Square is proud to support the Locals Show.
Curbside recycling is now included with your trash service in Pitkin County. You can reduce your waste footprint and shrink your trash bill by recycling right. Learn more at landfillrules.com.
The Independence Pass Foundation, for 30 years restoring and protecting the ecological, historical, and aesthetic integrity of Independence Pass. To learn more, independencepass.org.
Sundog Athletics, Aspen's Adventure Sports School, is your opportunity to experience the most beautiful adventure locations and gain new skills to be safer, perform better, and have more fun. Fresh updates on mountain and road biking, hiking, canoeing, snowshoeing, and fat biking adventures at sundogathletics.com, Sundog Athletics on Facebook and Instagram.
Welcome to the local show. People you work with, people you know.
We're back here on the local show with good friend, longtime friend, and now Mayor of Aspen, Torre, the man who goes by one name. And actually that leads me to something fun. And just real briefly, what reaction do you get? Like, now that you're Mayor of Aspen, you're meeting these politicos, say, from other areas, other counties, other parts of Colorado, and it's like the one name mayor, Aspen, Torre. What's kind of the reaction you get?
I think they're most of them are reserved on their reaction. Only a few have actually said, "What is this about?" and tell me more.
A little curious.
I'll tell you, I would offer a bet that I bet some of them think, Aspen is that kind of funky town.
Yeah.
I think they are totally, they believe it.
Like, that makes
right?
sense.
It does make
Right,
sense, yes.
that's
Of course the mayor of Aspen has one name.
So, Mayor of Aspen, good-looking, athletic, smart guy.
Yeah.
You know where this is leading to?
No.
Not that I want to date you.
No.
But are you still available? And single guy?
I'm in a relationship.
Okay.
I have a long-distance relationship. My girlfriend lives in San Francisco.
Okay. That's all you have to say.
Yeah.
Although inquiring minds want to know.
Well,
we'll talk more after the show.
She'll be here Labor Day weekend, so.
Excellent, excellent. So you still the street bowling guy around town? You kind of were one of the pioneers of street bowling. This is serious, man. This is like a whole new adventure sport avenue.
We
still doing that?
Yes, we are still street bowling. We street bowl right out in front of the Wheeler Opera House.
Okay.
Back when it was Bentley's, we used to sit out there and have cold beverages and street bowl.
Nice.
It was a little too far to go down to Eligible all the time that we wanted to bowl. So I got 10 pins and I got a couple bowling balls, and it gives a whole new true meaning to gutter ball. There is a true gutter ball.
There you go.
But what we really have been doing is we play a few games or whatever, but we love long distance. So we'll try to see how far. So let's see, from the corner by the Wheeler Opera House, going back to about the middle of the Prospector Hotel. That's a
good distance.
It's over 100
50
feet or so.
Yeah, I was going to say 50 yards or not quite that far.
Just about, though. You're about
right.
Wow,
you're about long distance, huh? I'm getting a theme here.
And it's true. Hey, the last time we did it, we only bowled for about 15 minutes or so. We played a quick three-frame game. That's my friend Spencer and I. He's one of the guys that I pull on all these adventures, like Aspen Ringer.
Shout out to Spencer McKnight.
Yep, Spencer McKnight. You know Aspen Ringer? It's another game that we've invented downtown. Aspen Ringer, you take a hula hoop and you try to throw it over the rugby poles and get a ringer on the rugby poles.
I like
Aspen
it.
Ringer. I'm spreading the word about
Are there adult beverages involved by chance?
They don't have to be. It's not required whatsoever. And it's a
not
public
required.
park, so generally, no.
Okay, but permissible. So we had just had an opening of a new pedestrian bikeway, which is near and dear to my heart. I actually was fortunate to give a little input as I serve on open space and trails for the city of Aspen. But the Hallam Street Ped Bikeway, ribbon cutting and now open. What are your thoughts on that?
Just coming over here just now to see you, I saw a family walking down the middle of the street, bicyclists passing by on the other side, and you could almost tell that they were happy because of that experience, that they knew that they were pedestrian safe and in a place where there was going to be less traffic. It was almost just them walking down the street. You could kind of sense that from them. So I love it. I think it's great.
You can tell by the body language if they feel safe and comfortable, and they're obviously doing it.
Yeah.
And then the picture in the paper the other day just showed like a fair amount of traffic of not cars, but non-cars, I should say, of bikes. There was a guy on a WeCycle with a trailer of bikes and all these people walking and biking. So
I think it's great.
Where do you see that heading? In similar alternatives to the car.
Yeah.
Healthy alternatives to the single-use car.
You as a bike advocate, as you've been for years, and a part of the community and the biking community here in Aspen, as you are, we see it as a trail of connectivity. We're looking to make it accessible as possible for as many people as possible. And I'll say this just because, look, there are sometimes you got to drive your car. There's sometimes you got to take gear with you. You got to take dogs with you. You got to go to the grocery, whatever it is. But when you have the opportunity to get out of your automobile and take a healthier alternative like walking or taking a bike, that's what we're here to support.
Right.
And we're going to continue to support it.
And it's, again, just carving out those opportunities when we don't have to drive a short errand, say. Like I have, let's just say, people in my neighborhood that drive daily to City Market. That might be 6 or 7 blocks away. I'm not sure. But there's a free bus that goes by every 20 minutes that drops you right at City Market. So again, those opportunities to do something healthier for us, for everyone around us, really, because less cars is better for everyone. And of course, the environment. So one of the general ways I like to think about is Mother Nature gives us everything. Can't we give her a little something back? I mean, really, and it's sweet, awesome. But it's important.
I appreciate that, and that's one of the messages that we want to share with other people that are visiting as well, so that they can take that and back to wherever they're from as well, and try to employ that where they live.
Right, and work on more of these alternatives, more of this connectivity. It'd be nice ultimately to connect out to the Intercept lot.
Yeah,
maybe with e-bikes. When we get that pathway connectivity finished. Now, speaking of Mother Nature, we had our 3rd human-bear conflict this past weekend. Sunday evening at one of the local restaurants. We don't need to go into names in the personal aspect, but that restaurant was fined $500 as it was a repeat offender. Where do you see some of the solutions being, as this is going on year after year after year, with the unsecured trash containers, both residentially and commercially? Do you see some solutions that would just be kind of low-hanging fruit?
We're going to put some more resources into this. This year has been I guess you'd call it a banner year for bears. They seem to be in every neighborhood, and they're getting more and more comfortable with that initial encounter, which is leading to the altercations that we're seeing as well. So what are we going to do? We're having education and enforcement.
Right.
These days there are plenty of alternatives and solutions to keep your trash locked up and safe, and that's what everybody needs to be doing.
Do you see us maybe bringing on more Aspen police officers? Because I think some of the times it's like getting to those situations quick enough. There's not enough personnel. Sometimes there's only 2 squads on duty, for example. Isn't that part of just like not enough enforcement out there?
I think that the APD is currently looking at both using their safety officers as well, right? Okay. So there's an opportunity for engagement of many jurisdictions, parks and open space, streets even, because of their association with where these bears are, alleyways, etc. So I think it takes really a lot of us to start being aware of what's going on. And that means both where and when the bears are and why they are being attracted there.
Right. I think just as community members reporting when we see unsecured trash cans to try to prevent a situation, whether either a human's getting hurt or a bear is getting
Yeah,
euthanized.
and real quickly, I absolutely, and so people know, there's no harm in that. All that's going to happen is somebody's going to come out and have a conversation and make sure
Right.
that the people are aware that they are
Right.
supposed to be securing their trash.
Right.
Oftentimes, it's people that don't really know
Right.
that they're supposed to do what they're supposed to do.
Right.
People that are visiting Aspen, if you're not from a place that has bear encounters, then you probably don't know how to handle them.
Right.
So.
Exactly. We have people from all over the world
Yeah.
visiting, have homes here, locals, and most locals know better. I think it's a matter of just, taking the extra step and securing these containers is what we're talking about. Maybe one warning, but I don't know about this multiple warning thing. That seems to be like people aren't really paying attention when you give them multiple opportunities and then they finally get a fine.
Yeah.
So maybe kind of tightening up
Hey,
that
once
process.
you educate somebody, you should be asking them to be on board.
Right, right. Well, let's move on. We've got Lift 1. Wow, that was one of the, if not the biggest development application we've seen in decades.
Yeah.
Since really we voted on the Ritz
Yeah.
back in the day, which is now the St. Regis. That came to a community vote. This did too, passed by 26 votes.
26 votes.
And now the Browns have pulled out, and it seems like it's reverting back to their former approval,
Yeah.
which I think was 2011, for a smaller, or we might say right-sized project, and they have to house 100% of their
Yeah.
employees. Is there any other information right now? I mean, that you've
Not
heard?
currently. I'm sure that those parties are at least talking. I don't know in which direction it's going. But right now, from the city standpoint, we're just kind of waiting to see how that plays out a little bit before if they want to come to us and talk to us about that situation, that's great. But right now, we're just waiting and see.
What are your feelings on that? I mean, you came out and you were in opposition, voting no on that proposal. Do you have any feelings on that right now?
I felt at the time of the vote that it was a little too much development for that side of the mountain. I was excited about the opportunities that it was presenting, but I also questioned why we couldn't achieve some of those goals without that much density over there. And when I talk about density, listen, I'm okay with hotel room development, et cetera, but I was really hoping that some of the development would be maybe a little bit more community serving and a little bit more community accessible, and a little bit more community inclusive. If that's too much of political ease speak, I can go into detail about it. But the higher end development that was scheduled up there was not something that I was in full support of. I am, as mayor and as somebody that really works for the city of Aspen now and the citizenry of Aspen, I'm looking to make whatever solution best work out the best for this community. So if the winds change again and something else is coming our way, I'm going to evaluate it on behalf of my community and work hard for my community on it.
Here's more of a general question about being mayor of Aspen. Your expectations leading into this had really built up for over 16 years, as you had been in local politics as a city council person, and then you had run for mayor unsuccessfully, and now you are mayor.
Yeah.
How does that differ from your expectations, or is it just what you had expected? What are some of those things observations?
It is a lot of what I expected. For me, it's all about the issues and the job, right? I've never run for mayor because of the title that mayor is, because of the position. Certainly not the pay.
The worldwide prestige.
Anyway, for none of those reasons, I've really my ambition has been to work for my community on the issues that impact my community. So, for me, it's pretty much what I expected. I will tell you that one of the things that's been difficult in the first, I think we're at 9 weeks, 2 months and a week or something like that, has been the current situation with no official city manager. Right. So right now our city government as an organization is a little thin. We have our interim city manager. We have no true assistant city managers. Other people have been pitching in and have been raised to levels of assistant city managers. But, it's kind of a skeleton crew over there. So the biggest challenge, I think, for this council that's gotten sworn in recently is the fact that normally you would hit the ground running with a full boat of staff and administration and managers in order to start working on policy and the things that you want to implement. And we've had to, take a little bit of time in the beginning here and search out for a new city manager.
But we're getting very close, aren't we?
It'll be very soon. I'm very encouraged by the process, excited about where we're going, and then excited, to get to work.
Right. Okay. Environmental leadership.
Yes.
Yes, we talked about it when you've been on the show in the
Yes.
past. You talked about it during your campaign.
Yeah.
And we were talking about an expansion of the single-use plastic ban, which currently just applies to single-use plastic bags.
Correct.
What's your vision for that?
The
Expanding
local
that. Because I know
show.
they're talking about it in Carbondale.
man.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
getting into the nitty-gritty, man.
So,
they're talking about it in Carbondale, expanding their single-use plastic ban.
Yeah,
What
they
do you
are
think?
as well. I mean, there's other places. I'll tell you. So two things. One, Colorado has some Colorado state laws that preempt us from being able to do certain types of single-use plastic bans.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as we've gotten deeper into this as an issue that Aspen really wants to impact, we see that now what we need to do is really start having some influence and input into our state legislature and getting in contact with the people that we need to change what's going on at the state level. However, that being said, we are still working on it, and I will say this, what I would like to do is facilitate before we legislate. So what I've noticed in this community is that there are a number of places that are choosing to go compostable with whether it's plastic straws, to-go containers, whatever we're talking about, So that's first, is that we want to facilitate people making the right choice here in Aspen because so many people want to do it on their own.
Right.
At the same time, we are looking for, the ways that we are going to legislatively mandate some of the behaviors that we want Aspen to model. And that includes like downtown composting from restaurants and hotels, things like that. But we have our challenges ahead of us, even though it's a shared goal by this council. We have to work on it from the right angles.
What if we just went after single-use water bottles? Would the state block that process or preempt? As you mentioned, if we just say we're going to take these one at a time, piecemeal, is that a possibility?
Single-use water bottles, that is an issue that we can start to work on outside of the preemptions. Those are not preempted.
Okay.
So for me, I would really start at the bottom of that. I would start looking at some of the smallest of those 8-ounce disposable plastic water bottles, 10-ounce disposable water bottles.
Okay.
Some of the larger ones, I would slowly get towards that, but
interesting.
where we live in a high altitude dry climate like this, our visitors need water. So we can get these into as many people's hands as possible. That one is from the Aspen Tap program.
Given out by the city, reusables.
And that brings back a lot of memories for me because I was on council during that whole campaign and really forwarded this water bottle design actually back in the day.
Nice.
Anyway, but we can do our best to get reusable water bottles into everybody's hands and get the message out there that this is how we do it here.
Yeah.
But there are still certain instances that I want to make sure that people have their water. And so what I'm saying is we should start looking at it incrementally, start working towards that goal.
So maybe more water stations to facilitate it. Maybe more reusable containers we could give out. Make it cool. Like I think there's like this like celebrity hip cool thing too that we could tap into, like Klaus. If we had a photo of Klaus with the city of Aspen ad, like Klaus uses Aspen Tap,
Gretchen Bleiler is another one who she actually started her own water bottle manufacturing company called the Alex Bottle.
Alex, we featured it here on the show.
Absolutely. So there are some local resources that we could be tapping into.
Nice.
Tapping
Literally.
into.
Literally. Different kind of tapping than we did in college. Okay, so
Barrels.
the other thing that's kind of sitting, and we're down to just a couple of minutes, but the airport is a massive project that's being looked at from a lot of different committees and individuals and citizens. And the private aircraft, it's been reported, is the biggest carbon footprint in Aspen, Colorado. Puts out more pollution than anything else. Is there anything we can do to impact the airport in terms of minimizing the pollution out there, the pollution damage, the harm, literally to the community, first of all, but then just to the environment in general? Anything we can do to affect that?
That's a great question. Boy, if you saw the numbers recently, our carbon emissions at the airport skyrocketed last year.
I believe it.
And they are continuing to
we
grow.
keep adding flights and planes and private planes.
Growth, you're absolutely right. So aside from supporting new technology, which there is desire in the aircraft industry to create cleaner burning and yet ultimately renewable energy type aircraft. So there is a movement going on there, but that's a slow one to come. I guess I would say this, in our airport planning process that's going on right now, I think that needs to be a threshold question for us about not having expansion that is expanding that greenhouse footprint. And that's a tough one for this community.
Yeah.
Maybe there's benchmarks where we can start looking at ways to limit that growth. But just as far as minimizing it or reducing it, that's a little bit.
That's a tough one. Well, it's federal. It's
It
the
is
FAA.
Yep.
So there's only so much you can do there to influence a federal facility. But anyway, I think what you said is try to support newer technologies.
Yeah.
Let's look at the size. Size does matter with all these different projects we're talking about.
Yeah.
Because obviously bigger means more of everything.
And we need to weigh those impacts, and that includes the ground transportation that's coming out of the airport as well. We need to think about all this, minimize it where we can.
Torre, speaking of reusable beverage containers,
yes.
I have probably the coolest one since the 60s.
Because it's
I don't even
filled
know
with cookies that you made.
Yeah, well, it's like psychedelic. Don't worry, the cookies are not. But I wanted to thank you. I freshly baked organic chocolate chips for you. This is from our partners at Pitkin County Landfill. Did you have fun on the show today?
I love coming over here. Let's do it
buddy.
again.
We will. We
All
definitely will. Thanks for all you do for
Eric.
Aspen.
No, Eric, thank you for all
appreciate
you do for Aspen. Man, this is a great show, but it's your presence every day, whether it's on Facebook or out in the community. Thank you.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks for saying that. And again, thanks for all you do for Aspen. And thank you guys for watching The Local Show.
I'm so passionate about this community. I absolutely love living here and raising my family here. It gives me a lot of pride to share this with my friends and my clients and help them achieve their dreams of owning an Aspen snowmass and enjoying this incredible lifestyle.
Curbside recycling is now included with your trash service in Pitkin County. You can reduce your waste footprint and shrink your trash bill by recycling right. Learn more at landfillrules.com.
The Independence Pass Foundation, for 30 years restoring and protecting the ecological, historical, and aesthetic integrity of Independence Pass. To learn more, independencepass.org.
Sundog Athletics, Aspen's Adventure Sports School, is your opportunity to experience the most beautiful adventure locations and gain new skills to be safer, perform better, and have more fun. Fresh updates on mountain and road biking, hiking, canoeing, snowshoeing, and fat biking adventures at sundogathletics.com, Sundog Athletics on Facebook and Instagram.
Welcome to the local show. People you work with, people you know.
Thanks for watching this Grassroots Community Network video. To subscribe, click here, and you'll be kept aware of all the great new videos we're producing every week. To check out our website, click here. And to watch related videos to the program you just watched, click here.